Hi everybody, it's Kim and welcome to another episode of Come Spin With Me. I think we're on episode 9, but I could be wrong. I so often am. But no matter which episode it is, welcome. This episode almost didn't happen. I almost decided not to do it because I wasn't able to record during my lunch break today, and it is now very late in the evening. For me, very late in the evening. I say that, oh my God, it's not even 5 o'clock. It's just about 5 o'clock. But I just finished work. I had to work a little late and I debated on whether to do this or not. And then I thought, you know what? Nothing better after a long and stressful day than spending time with people that you know, that are your friends, that support you. So hello, friends that support me. And even if you don't, hello anyway. I don't care. I'm doing this anyway because I knew it would relax me. So here's what I have for today. I think it's probably going to be a short video, but I thought I would try something a little bit different, and I brought down a couple of projects to show you what I have done with my hand spun, including the very first hand spun project I ever did with some of my spindle spun, my very first spindle spun yarn. It was definitely not my first spinning, aka Blake, who is a savant, a spinning savant. I saw on Instagram today the picture that you posted of the difference in your spinning from when you first started to now, which has been like, what, a week? You are amazing. And in that amount of time, I had not even come close to making yarn that I thought was really yarn. I had probably thrown my spindle across the room about 10 times. So congratulations, you are doing an amazing job on your spinning, and I could not be more proud of you. Anyway, that being said, I brought down a project that I wanted to show off, and then I brought down some fiber for, you know, the mandatory fiber porn, because, you know, you got to do that. But I thought I'd start with a pair of socks that I made. This was a relatively recent, probably a year or two ago, hand spun project. And these are socks. Let me get a wide shot back here. These are hand spun, hand knit socks from a fiber that I got from Funky Carolina, who's no longer dyeing fibers, but when she was, oh my God, this was gorgeous. And it's in my project, so if you're interested in knowing the name of the fiber or anything, any details about the project, you can go into my projects on Ravelry. And I don't have that many in there, so you should be able to scroll through and see these socks. I just cannot remember what the name of the fiber was, but it was something, gosh, I want to say it was something Harry Potter related, but I could be wrong. But it was really, really beautiful fiber. I spun it and knit it into these socks. Now, the reason that I wanted to show you these is because I'm going to link below in the description box a link to the Ravelry pattern. This is a free pattern. It's called Handspun Show-off Socks. It's by a lovely lady named Karen. I think I have mentioned her before, and I think I've mentioned this pattern before. But I'm going to link it down in the description box. This is an excellent pattern to use with hand spun yarns. It's very simple, lets the yarn speak for itself, and it's got an ingenious garter stitch short row heel where you don't pick up the wraps. You do wraps, but you don't pick them up when you go back and knit over them. So it's one of my favorite heels ever. So anyway, I thought I'd show you this, and then I'll link the pattern for you below. Great handspun project. And then next, mainly just because I saw it in my closet when I went up to get the socks, I thought I would bring this down and show it to you. When I first started to spin, and this was honestly not the first, not my first handspun. God, no, this is not my first handspun, but it is one of the first handspun yarns that I did on my spindle that I felt was consistent enough to be called yarn. And it is a silk blend, but I can't remember what the silk was blended with, because again, that's so like me. So it was either merino or BFL, but it was a silk blend, a solid color in a lovely navy blue. And when I was done with my little spindle of yarn and plying it, and I think I just did, I want to say this was just a 2-ply, but after I got done, I knit it into this patterned scarf. They're like little garter triangles. They kind of, I don't know if you can really see the pattern stitch very well. But anyway, that's what I made out of my very first hand spun that I thought was really yarn. The thick and thin and all that stuff, I really had my mind and my heart set on spinning sock weight yarn even when I first started spinning, and obviously that didn't happen right away. It took a very long time for me to get to that point, but I didn't save a lot of my first hand spun yarns, the thick, bulky, art looking yarn that most people save. I don't remember if I gave it away or if I threw it away in frustration or what, because my first spinning attempts were definitely very frustrating. But this was the first thing that I was actually really proud of and could call yarn and show it to people and say, look, I made yarn. And they didn't say, ooh, really? Is that yarn, or is that just a pile of dust bunnies? What is that? So this was my first project. So there you go. Okay, and I didn't bring my phone over to... But that's okay, I'm watching my time, so I guess we'll be all right. I brought some fiber down to do fiber porn, and I dug out a couple of real gems. One of them is quite a treasure, and I'll show that one to you first. And for any of you who know me from Ravelry, who remember me back in the day, this is an all spun up braid. This was... I bought 2 braids this color ages and ages ago. And when I spun the first one up, and I took the finished yarn and I posted it on her, Kristen's All Spun Up, Kristen, I think it's Kristen Pounders, but All Spun Up actually has a board on Ravelry. And when I posted my finished yarn there, I had named it Goldfish in a Tutu, because of the pinks and the golds and the purples, but mainly the orange and yellow and the pink, made it look like a goldfish wearing a tutu. That's just what came to my mind. The other name that I came up with was Barbie got Cheetos on her dress or something like that. I don't know. But Goldfish in a Tutu was my favorite, so that's what I named it, and I posted it to her board. She liked the name so much, and people really loved the yarn so much and the colorway so much, that she ended up asking if she could use the name, and I told her, of course you can. And she had a spin along and a custom die for lots of goldfish in a tutu. I don't remember if she went with goldfish in a tutu or goldfish wearing tutus or something like that, but I called it goldfish in a tutu, I think. But anyway, it became quite the success, and I still have one of the 2 original braids that I bought because they were languishing in the shop and no one was buying them. Wonder why. They sure loved them after they saw the name. Sometimes the name can really make a difference, huh? Okay, and then another one is also an all spun up fiber, an oldie but a goodie, and this goes back to 2010. This was a summer spin along that she did, and this was called a somewhat Seussish trout. I'm sorry about all the glare, you guys. Today has been really weird with the overcast, the sun going in and out. I can never tell what it's going to do, so bear with me. I have, let's see what else. I've got another really old one. This was from a company called Squish Fiber Arts. I'm not even sure if they're still around, but I brought this one down. It's got some really pretty rust and some black and some little grays in there, but it's just such a nice little combo. And it's just, I'm tossing my stash apparently. As I go in and look for stuff, I'm finding so many really old fibers, oldies but goodies. And then from Julie Spins, I've got one. I think this is my last one. I think it's my last one. This is Julie Spins. And I'm not sure, let's see, what was the name? Kaleidoscope. And I think she actually still dyes this fiber. I know she's still got an Etsy store. She had an Artfire store for a while too, and I'm not sure if she still does. But this was called Kaleidoscope, and I love it, and I don't know why I haven't spun it, but I haven't. So that is the fiber porn for today. I'm going to adjust the angle a little bit and see if I can maybe get the spinning wheel in the shot this time, and I will be right back. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully this angle works a little bit better than last week's. I know that last week when I went back and watched the video, you couldn't see the spinning wheel at all, and look at this, you still really can't. Let's see if I can get that down a little bit more. Okay. Okay, well, it's probably going to cut off my face a little bit, but my face is not the important part of come spin with me. It is the spinning. So, you guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments section, whether you like it better when you can see the wheel or if you like it better when you see me. I try and get both of us in the shot as best I can, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. And today with the lighting being what it is, it's just bleh. So, again, I am spinning Safe as Houses the way I was last week. I didn't get any spinning done between last week's video and today, unfortunately. It's just been a tough month. May is going to be a difficult month. Work-wise, I'm going to be really, really busy. I've got some additional stuff to do for work that kind of has to be done on my personal time, which I'm not thrilled about, but once it's over, it will be over, thank goodness. What else I don't know how many of you are watching RuPaul's Drag Race this season, but I know quite a few of you are. So I just want to say, Team Bianca Del Rio for the win forever! I love Bianca. I was pleased with the final three, although not surprised in the least. It was kind of what I expected. After a few weeks, I kind of, I was really torn about Bendela because I kind of thought Bendela Creme might end up there, but oh well, it's Adora Delano. What are you going to do? So, let's see. I hope you all had an opportunity to watch our Come Knit With Us from Saturday. We had Kathy Canuel had her Mother's Day trunk show, which was, from all I have heard, a huge success. And if you did see the video, then you already know, and if you didn't, then I'm telling you something. She made these beautiful stitch marker holder necklaces, and I have 2 of them myself already because I'm greedy. And Sam has one, and we showed them off. Actually, you can see them in the last 2 episodes. I think episode 19 and 20, whatever the last 2 were. You can see them, and Kathy gave us the last one she had from her show last Saturday to do a giveaway with for our channel. So we're very excited, and we're plotting and planning to decide what we're going to do. All we know so far is that we're not going to give it away until we reach 300 subscribers on my channel. So as soon as we do that, then we'll be doing another giveaway, which will include that stitch marker necklace, and who knows, it might include some other stuff too. I'm not having too difficult a time with this fiber, keeping it somewhat thicker, and I'm actually really enjoying spinning this way. I really need to get my self in the habit of spinning some thicker yarns, because it goes faster. And you know, although I really love knitting primarily with sport, hair in my face, I enjoy knitting with sport weight, sock weight, DK weight yarns. I'm not a huge fan as a rule of knitting with thicker yarns like worsted or Aran or bulky, but lately, over the past, you know, maybe 6 months to a year, I have really come around to knitting with some of the thicker yarns, like the Malabrigo Rios, which is on the heavier side of worsted. And I've used a lot of the Cascade 220 for blanket knitting. I've used a lot of the Noro Korean, which is very thick. And I've actually enjoyed it. So it would be nice if I could get into a habit of spinning some of these thicker yarns instead of always having a sock weight or fingering weight, so that I could maybe use some of them for hats or cowls, or maybe even some toys. Who knows, Kenneth? I am anxiously awaiting your next podcast, Kenneth Turbo Knitter, to see if you've been getting any toys sent in to you by anyone, because it certainly seemed like, I know Sam Kermit Von Frog is knitting some toys for you, and I believe Lucas was knitting some toys for you, and Nikki, I think, might have been. And if I could ever get through this month, I might have a little bit of extra free time, and I would love to knit some toys for you too. I am a huge fan of Rebecca Danger's Monster Toys. Does anybody know that one? I know it's very popular, so if you are a fan of those monsters, stuffed monster toys by Rebecca Danger, tell me so in the comments, or give this video a thumbs up and let me know you like those. I had to buy her first book of Monster Toys twice because I lost my original copy, so I had to buy it again because, oh, I love it so much. There's that one, I'm trying to remember if it's called Daphne and Delilah, where it's the mother monster and she's got a pocket on her front and it holds a little baby monster. So cute. I have made that more than once. And I also really like Isolde Teague's Elephant, Elijah. That is a great pattern, and I made a few of those. I wouldn't say a ton, but I made a few of those Elijahs. I gave one to a friend for their little son when he was a baby, and he loved it. And then I gave one to, believe it or not, I made an orange one, and gave it to Jean the Fair Isle Queen that you've heard Sam talk about a few times on our Come Knit With Us episodes. She taught Fair Isle and weaving at Tempe Yarn and Fiber before she moved to, I think it's Oregon. I think she's around Portland. Oh, there goes the sun again. My lighting's changing. But I loved that pattern. It's only a teeny tiny bit fiddly. It isn't something that I would say I'll make a ton of, because it isn't one of those you can make one in a night or a weekend kind of things. Maybe a weekend. But it is such a precious, precious toy. And I would love to make one of those again, maybe. But I do really like the Rebecca Danger ones. They're very easy, and I think they're just charming. I love the idea of a monster with a funny face, especially for little boys, but I think little girls like them too. But they can help chase away any of the things that are scary in the night, or, as happens in an ambulance, things that are just scary. If you have your own monster to protect you, what could be better than that? You usually need protection from monsters, but if you have a monster as a watchdog, how awesome! Oh, 2 more minutes. I've got 2 more minutes. Ooh, I'm getting into a rusty orangey yellow section. I'm really anxious to see how this plies up, which I always say because every time I start spinning a fiber, I'm anxious to see what it looks like when it's done. Which is kind of the point of spinning, I have to say. Kind of the point of all of this crafting. When I knit, I can't wait to see how it turns out. And when I spin, I can't wait to see how it turns out. So I know there are people that are process knitters and project knitters, and I imagine that there are people who are the same way about spinning, that really do it for the love of the process and not as much, they're not as motivated by the finished product. What kind of spinner are you? And if you're not a spinner, that's okay. Tell me what kind of knitter you are. Are you a process knitter or a project knitter? For me, I would like to say that it's a little bit of both, but I don't seem to have any problem whatsoever putting down a work in progress and picking up something else. So I don't have this compulsion to finish things. And if something gets finished, then I'm super excited. And if it doesn't, I don't beat myself up for it. So I would say based on that, I am more of a process knitter. But when it comes to spinning, I have never stopped a spin in the middle and not gotten back to it. I have always finished every spin I've done. So for spinning, I am a project spinner. Okay. Had to check out there for a second because I thought that I was going to be able to do my closing before I ran out of time, but no such luck. So that's it for me today. Thanks for stopping by. Whew. Let's redo this a little bit. There we go. Thanks for stopping by today. I'm sorry that it was short, but I will say that I'm glad I actually went ahead and did it. I can't believe I was considering not doing it, but you know what? Sometimes life gets in the way, and if there's a week where I can't get to it, I will apologize profusely and I will pick it up the next week. But I really appreciate spending time with you guys. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate all of you that watch these videos, subscribe to my channel, and who leave comments. It means a lot to me to hear from you. I like knowing that you're out there. Pardon me. I really do like knowing that you're out there. It's enjoyable for me to know that somebody's watching this. So for all of you who do the views, I appreciate it. For all of you who leave comments, I really appreciate it. I hope I get back to everybody. That's it for me today. I'm beat. Ugh, I'm done. Thanks for sharing today with me. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.